armor class build. Hello and welcome to Nerdarchy for Nerds by Nerds. I'm Nerdarchist Dave. Tonight we're playing some 5th edition Dungeons and Dragons, and I didn't warn anybody, I just jumped right into it. I got sidetracked looking for my character, to be honest with you. So I'm going to hand it off to our illustrious Dungeon Master, Nerdarchist Ted.
Hello and welcome, everyone. I hope you're all having a pleasant and wonderful evening. Tonight, as Dave says, we are going to play some 5th edition D&D because it is time for Dungeons and Delving. And if you've been following along for a while, it's an even-numbered episode, which means we all know that they're about to head into the dungeon. But before we go any further, I'm going to toss it over to one of these players who can kind of mention what they remember from the previous session and then kind of ping pong it off to a player of their choice to then pass and pass. And Robin is waving her hand, so I'm going to pass it over to them.
Good. Yes. Okay. We talked to an AI that slowly degraded over the course of the conversation. And I remember this, and I know that if it goes to somebody else before I say it, they're going to mention that. So I had to go first. Dave, I know you probably don't have as much in your brain locked down as Steven does. So I'm passing it to you.
That's a mood. Yeah, that's true. Everything you said is true. I barely remember what we did last time. Thanks, Robin.
Well, would you rather go now where there's plenty of things or later after there is nothing left to pick off the bones of
sometimes it jars my memory. So, no, you're right. We did the AI thing for a while. I remember when we left off, Ted was gracious to allow me to delve into my cooking utensils to pull out some bioluminescent fungus powder to kind of sprinkle out in front of everyone's door, because I believe what we're doing now is we're trying to figure out who's sneaking off at night to tamper with things. Dun, dun, dun. Go ahead, Tabitha.
All right. Tabitha also remembers that the group spent a long time doing a Q&A with that AI while she took that opportunity to get some dope selfies, as I noted in my notes here, which she has shared on Hark. Very artistic and well taken. Needs to get a selfie stick, maybe a magic one or something. I don't know. Anyways, she also back at the locker room. Is that what it's called? Like the facility. Quite a bit of time with Raziel, her current hero, the Aasimar Swordmaster, and they actually shared a moment speaking Celestial to each other. I wrote down faux hex. I think I hexed somebody with it. Maybe it was Nebula, for just because we're like to push each other's buttons in a friendly way. But yes, I just wrote down very cool religious talk. So that was what Tabitha remembers most.
I thought you hexed her to make your checks better.
No, I wouldn't do that.
Okay, so I guess I'm last. What I remember is we talked to the AI. We learned that there is the person who is behind all of the problems is definitely another player on another team, possibly multiple players on another team, or maybe even the entire team. We weren't really sure, but we know whoever made the AI did not know who actually was behind everything, or at least they wanted us to think that. Nebula had a meeting with Crag, who is the bunny dude, and she and the kobold that wears bunny ears, he's a bunny dude, right? And so he gave Nebula much information, which Nebula still isn't fully sure that she believes, because it's entirely possible that Crag is also the one behind everything and could have just given us exactly the wrong information, because that would also line up with what Crag said. So we're really at a 50-50 at this point with that. Tabitha got to do some flirty business with her pals being the wingmen, as she went and interacted with Raziel, is that their name? From the other team. And then we had Enzo and Burke got to have a heart-to-heart where they shared about their backstories. We learned that Enzo was not necessarily supported by his parents in his dreams and pursuits. And also that he is still very much fixated on proving himself and win this competition. So that's what I remember.
Oh, one other thing too, perhaps the most important thing is that Sensational Chimera are #1, baby. Hashtag Octothorpe 274. We don't know the flump score, so they might have got in higher than us. But as it stood at the end of last session, Sensational Chimera were living up to their names by a multi-headed beast of ferocious fame and fabulous action in the dungeon.
So, as we get into the following morning, you'll have learned whether you're paying attention to the scoreboards or whatnot. Team Shining Unicorn went in round one. Went in first for round three. They are at 268. Black Razor's Revenge went in second, scoring a total of 260. Displacer Beasts are at 256. Gibbering Mouthers continues to trail in fourth place or last place at 252. Sensational Chimera is at 274. And Flumps, keeping the lead, is currently at 282. So you're looking at an 8-point deficit, not too hard to deal with.
2 quick questions. They did the climb?
The Flumps did the climb, yes.
Okay. And how many points did they score in that round?
A total of 89.
89. Okay. So we actually, we crushed them in that round, but we did the gauntlet. Okay, got it.
All right. So whoever is checking on, the dust left by footprints, you don't really see anything. Nothing stands out if you watch throughout the night. When Nebula goes and checks the little bot that was left in the plant, nobody snuck out in the locker room, which was a detail that all of you seem to forget, but thankfully I've got some notes here. That was indeed done. So you are, whether you're affirmed or worried that you did not gain any new clues in the night, that is entirely up to you guys. But you have to, basically, fast track the day to let us know, or let me know what you're looking to do over the course of this day. For the following morning, it is into the dungeon, and Team Sensational Chimera is first.
Ooh, what was that?
That is a first.
A little buzz. That was cool.
Sorry, that was sound here.
Oh, I thought it was like production value. So perfectly timed. Like, time to go.
Time to go into the dungeon. Yeah, that's what it was.
I thought it was like an audio cue.
So we're going into the dungeon.
Well, is there anything that specific that any of you wanted to actually get done over the course of this day? That could be sped through.
Burke is going to make nice with Tristan and like try really hard not to fanboy, which is going to be very difficult. But he wants to both get to know him because he's his favorite author of The Dungeoneer, his premier favorite comic book that he grew up on, but also because he wants to kind of get a feel for some of Tristan's teammates. He is fully convinced Tristan is not involved, but that doesn't mean that there aren't other people involved. So yeah, that's what he's going to go for.
All right. So here's what I'm going to do. You're going to make a wisdom saving throw.
Oh my.
To see how much you can restrain yourself from fanboying.
Nice.
Oh dear. Okay, well, I am good at these in theory. I am trained in wisdom saving throws. I even took that as my feat. So rolling my Nerdarchy dice, that did not help anything. It's an 8 plus 6. So that is a 14.
A 14. So you go through this mantra in your head, like, all right, I want to ask him about this. I want to, not go out of control. And it starts off, hi, I'm a big fan, fellow competitor here. We're on even, parts. 10, maybe 20 minutes into the conversation, you just go full bore. You put the pedal to the metal, and you go and dive deep on was it the Dungeoneer? Is that the
Yeah.
Yep.
on the Dungeoneer, and you're going on all of these crazy, ridiculous fan theories, and going into some of your own what ifs kind of deal, and he gives you a decent amount of time of going into this, and it's like, all right, I got to go get ready, and he winds up coming going back to his his own dorm room to basically get away.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Tabitha would be in her rooms, just sort of by herself, kind of like thinking over the things and what's going on. And she was kind of disinterested, with this mysterious stuff. But when she's alone, she's kind of curious. So she's going to spend any time researching on her device, if she can, of who is, like, she wants to figure out what the Flumps might stand to lose if they don't win this year, because they're the only returning one. And after thinking about it, she thinks like, maybe it's them. We haven't interacted with them much. They're winning. They're never around.
There were two teams that had that were returning.
Oh.
It was
Shiny Unicorns?
Checking my notes here. I want to say, and I could be wrong, but it was the Flumps and Displacer Beasts.
Oh yeah. This is the Displacer Beast. You're
right. But they Flumps have pretty much been on top, and because of that, they haven't really wanted to mix it up much with everyone else.
They have the most to lose.
So go ahead and make me an investigation check.
Ooh, okay. Let's see here. Oh, I actually have a +1 in that. For a total of 9.
So you dig around, and you wind up spending a bit of time, and you dive in, and you learn some personal details, and you're going specifically towards the Flumps.
Yeah.
All right, roll a d4.
Oh, okay. Ooh, intriguing. Rolls within rolls. 3.
All right. So you learn about Rakin Axebelly.
Okay.
He's a dwarven, or he's a dwarf that definitely likes to mix it up in combat, but he doesn't fight the way a traditional dwarf does. They like to slap on lots of armor and wield large weapons. Rakin is definitely more on the shady version of things.
Okay.
Totally gets into wearing the black studded leather armor. He's got a blackened short sword.
You got a toe blade. Yeah.
He does indeed have a toe blade, but that too is also.
I nod in respect when I find that out. Like, okay.
Anybody else?
No, I don't think so. I'm kind of bummed. When our investigations fail. So I spend the rest of the day racking my brain.
I'm actually kind of uplifted by the fact that we didn't see any of the other competitors move through, because if anything happens, and if anything happens to us today, that means that somebody did tamper with it last night. And if somebody did tamper with it last night and none of our people went through, then that means it wasn't one of the teams. It means it was somebody from the outside, and that eliminates like half our suspects. So I'm feeling really good about that, and pretty much just spend the day like chatting with people about just keeping up our inter-party relations.
All right, so you're just chatting within the Chimera?
Yeah. Oh, no. Like the other teams. Like I'm
Okay.
just chatting with other people. Like nobody in particular. I'm just like doing that thing where I'm like making an appearance and making sure that we're all like, like everybody's good.
All right. So then I'm going to throw a monkey wrench into all of this conversation.
Do it.
When Serafina, when you wind up, mingling, and Serafina happens to be down, whether they're grabbing a meal or whether she's, chilling with the other unicorns, how does that conversation go?
Um, exactly how you would expect it to, pretty much. Like very terse acceptance. Like I smile, but like if you know us, then you know that there's a dagger in it. Like I am polite, but like briskly polite.
All right. So,
And like, maybe occasionally saying little things trying to get her to lose her temper to make her look bad.
all right. So I will give you some agency here. Does she piss you off and you storm off, or do you piss her off and she storms off?
Oh, definitely the latter. I'm trying to do it on purpose.
Excellent. I just giving agency, and that does track with every other engagement that has happened between you two in the locker room. This is time number 3 now. All right. So without further ado, the day passes. You're able to do, complete your long rest, do whatever kind of preparations. I know Enzo has probably made some fine treats to be able to pass out to the lot of you, and I'll toss that to him in just a moment. But as the morning dawns and you all eat whatever first meal, call it whatever you prefer, or skip it if you prefer to go into the dungeon hungry so that you can use that for whatever.
Just black coffee.
you are you are summoned by an orange shirt, led down the hallway to the elevator, through the passageway to the other elevator, where it is your turn to dive into the dungeon.
So did anybody figure out what everybody's surnames are in this competition? Because I had a thought. You
Did it
know,
hurt? I'm
a
kidding.
little bit.
I'm kidding. I'm so sorry.
So in the Dungeoneer, whenever there's a twist ending and you don't see who the villain is until the last minute, their last name's always Jenkins. So I wonder if anybody in this competition's last name is Jenkins.
That would be a bit on the nose, and I think if my last name were Jenkins, I would definitely change it for something like this and not be using it.
Maybe change it to Flamefellow.
Oh, you
Oh.
know what? That's a very good last name. Isn't that the last name of your competitor, Enzo?
It is.
I bet he's behind it.
Bob, I told you it's Bob all along. Anyway, here, have one of these lime flavored licorice root treats I made.
Oh, yeah, I love those. Thank you.
And I'll hand one to each of you.
How many 10 hit points does that give us again?
A whopping 3.
Hey, I'll take it. Thank you. 3 hit points. On my
Every little bit
D&D.
counts, right?
Yep.
I cast false life upon myself.
And of course, I got my pouch of good berries, don't you know? So if any of you need good berries, I've got them right here.
That's a good question, Ted.
So as you are brought up the elevator, and the second one, you know that once you get to a certain point, the door winds up opening to the side, and yet again it does, and this time there are just a series of boxes much smaller than what you have seen previously. There does not seem to be anything this time with the stamp of the little bunny ears. Perplexed, you don't know why, but perhaps that'll be answered in later.
We've been
The answer
betrayed.
later, or you've been betrayed. Who knows?
Got
Maybe
too close to the
maybe
truth.
Nebula is poking somewhere she shouldn't be, but maybe it's something else to do. But inside is a little box that's attached to a belt.
Utility
Hmm.
belt.
I'll open it this time. Why not?
It's not so much a box to be opened. You are all aware or guessing that you're expected to do the climb, and this looks to be like some kind of one-use propulsion,
Hmm.
Oh,
Like
interesting.
a jet belt.
basically.
That's cool.
Hmm. Okay.
Maybe Nebula
So-
should hang on to that.
No.
Yeah.
There's one
Yeah.
for.
Oh, there's one for each of us?
Yes.
Oh, what about
I see.
Hefty?
Hefty has a climb speed.
Oh, okay.
It does have a climb speed.
He does.
Wow. Propulsion belt. I will write. And we still have that wall, I believe. Right? We were gonna use it, but then we jumped out of the way of that boulder instead. Right?
I believe you opted to hang on to it. Yep.
Yeah, okay. Just making sure. I don't know if it'll come in handy, but
Hmm. All
Hmm.
right. Well, I guess that means we're going on the mountain again.
does the belt have a skull belt buckle?
It does not.
Damn.
They all have, the
Triple M.
cascading M for man's mighty munition.
Oh, it's from them. Okay.
Oh, nice.
Boy,
Okay,
what's
so
their slogan again.
our sponsor gave this to us. This will be rather fun, I think. It's a good safety net, I suppose, and one that Enzo can't get tangled up in.
I will remind, because it's probably been several sessions since I think it's actually happened. You do have the power to call out to the sponsors.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Power should make you say,
Indeed.
Uh,
And Robin, I believe you're the only one that's kind of working with
terrible ideas.
terrible ideas, but do you have the slogan down?
What is it?
I'm trying to get to that spot. All ideas should be terrible ideas.
Sounds
Got
about
it.
right.
So just in case something comes up and you decide to do a shout out, that is part of the game. So without further ado, the door to your right closes, the door in front of you opens, and you're led into a stone chamber to a large round pillar that goes up as far as you can see. And inside, on the outside of the pillar, there are all of these bizarrely placed handholds. And as you look for a moment, some of the handholds, recede into the wall. Another spot, they push back out. In previous seasons of Dungeons and Delving, the climb seemed to have, different iterations of what is here. Sometimes they've been kind of rotating, but others have, kind of used that to, if I can get on top of it, it'll pull me up a little bit. So now they kind of recede in and, pop out in another way.
Oh, they changed it up.
They like to change. They like to keep
Okay.
change it up to make it interesting, not only to the competitors but for the viewers at home as well. So with just a moment of consideration as to what indeed the climb is. The bell rings, the buzzer sounds, the timer goes, however it is that you wish to see it all happen, but it is time to go.
Take a moment to see if there's a pattern.
Go ahead and make an investigation check.
That is a 19.
And how long are you studying?
Just for a moment.
So with just a couple of seconds, you know, a bonus action to an action, uh, you're not sensing, you're not seeing enough movement to establish anything that would be considered a pattern because it's not like super fast.
All
So
right.
this is like a timed thing, huh?
Yeah, they all are. With that, folks, let's get at it. So
I'm gonna
will.
run 10 feet and jump my 5 feet in the air and grab the first handhold I can see.
Sure. So as you begin climbing, the first little bit, is not really an issue for any of you. Um, it doesn't seem to present any kind of challenge. So if you wish to do anything stylized or interesting, Burke, go ahead.
Can I do my thing to take my what do you call? I take out my pouch, right? And I have some material components here. I'm trying to see what it requires. I'm trying to open my spells list. I am going to be casting jump on people if that's feasible to do.
Sure.
So jump requires a grasshopper hind leg. Okay, that's what it was. I knew it had something. So okay, I'm going to give everybody one of these like with powdered flavoring on it. It's like a little grasshopper leg, like you get at Hot Topic. And I'm like, here, eat this, eat this, eat this.
I say, whoa, wait a minute. And I reach into my pouch and I pull out chocolate covered grasshopper legs and be like, here, you should use these.
Oh, I could do that for you if you want. And so I just sort of like whisper at it and just like a little flash of light and sparkles and then hand it back.
I mean, they don't have to taste terrible, do they? Is that part of the spell component?
I don't think so. But
I don't think they taste terrible anyway. They're just kind of like nuts, lots of protein.
Yeah, they're very much like tofu where they just taste like what you put on them. So like, yeah, this one is.
Enzo is going to look very indignant at both of you for explaining food and cooking to him.
I just give you the most shit-eating grin.
So I am going to just go ahead and burn 3 spell slots on you 3.
Okay.
So all of you guys have jump. So your jump distance is tripled. And that's really all it says.
Yeah.
Is that your jump distance is tripled. So I don't know what all that means, but I'm sure it could be useful here. I am going to then like grab onto Hefty's fur and start singing the Dungeoneer theme song as he climbs us up.
So you're just going to attempt to have him pull you along?
Yeah, basically.
All right. Well, he's going to have to make strength checks.
Okay.
He's climbing up, and you're just kind of holding on. That's going to be some serious endurance on him.
Okay.
So
he's pretty strong.
So I need the jumpers to go ahead and make an athletics check, and I need Hefty to just go ahead and make a strength check.
Okay. He's decently strong. So, and that's not a bad roll either. Okay, so that's 16 plus 2, 18.
Okay. So he's holding on. He's handling it just fine for this this first leg. What do we have for the jump checks or athletics checks?
Let's see. So yeah, I'm running. It's going to be an 18-foot jump with that spell on. And the check is if I extend my arms above my head, which I do. Ooh, 21.
Excellent.
I got an 8.
And do you have your jump distance calculated based off of the jump spell?
Oh geez, hold on.
It's 3 plus.
I just saw that was in the chat.
3 plus your strength mod times 3 if you're running 10 feet and jumping high.
Okay, so that's gonna be 9.
All right. So, then what do we have for Enzo?
So my jump is what's a 3 plus your strength modifier. My jump is it's a 14 for the check. And so 21 feet. What is it if you extend your arms? What does that give you? Another?
It's like 1.15 times your height.
Yeah.
So like if you were 6 feet tall, it'd be another 30 feet basically.
Okay, so
A
like
lot of
24
math
feet.
for 5e.
It's not a check, damn it. But it's Ted's game. I'm just saying.
No. I wasn't.
I know. I'm just being
No,
silly.
that wasn't a complaint. I was making a little joke.
Yeah,
the,
sure.
the jump distance was, how far you can go,
Yeah.
and then
But then you got to grab
jump
onto
check
something.
or the athletics check was to actually get a and grab a hold of what you're looking for.
For sure. Hey, can we see the top?
No.
Oh my god. Okay.
So like, you guys get going, and this check is representing a series of things.
Oh, okay.
Just a single go ahead. So the first aspect, the jumping distance is how far up the tower you begin to climb, or
Okay.
tower, whatever you want to call it.
Scary.
And then as you begin going, I imagine some of you are just kind of leaping and bounding. Tabitha is acing this like she was born to it or unborn to it, however you
I came back to life for this shit.
And Enzo is doing pretty well, but there's a couple of spots that looks like he's struggling. Nebula, on the other hand, is struggling. After you get past a certain threshold, you're finding the spacing of these things, even with the jump. You're having a problem getting your timing down. You keep saying, "Oh, well, this is it. Here, let me do that." Oh, what about here? Oh no, that one just moved. But as you begin climbing, you see every once in a while there's some, not the anti-magic glyphs, but glyphs and sigils that seem to be interspaced and interwoven into the actual pattern of these moving handholds. But Tabitha, there's a series of these things, and to you it clearly spells out it will happen again.
It will happen again.
Yes.
That's ominous.
So I'd imagine, as we're sort of like struggling and jumping and placing these things, she, and you said she was doing pretty good at it. She'll just like stop suddenly and like wherever she sees that. And is it like in somewhere where I could point it out to people? I mean, do we even have time to like? Is it like if you don't go, the thing will go in and you gotta?
It is a constant shifting and moving pattern. I mean, it's not like.
But you don't have long to linger.
But you do not have long to linger. If you try and wait too long, it's possible that your handhold that you're going to go to might disappear, or the handhold you're on might disappear.
Then I will shout out. Say there's a message from somebody written in these runes.
What does it say?
It says it will happen again. Sounds
Sure, it's not a threat.
Could be a threat or a statement of fact. Who knows?
Well, not much we can do about that right now. Got to keep climbing.
Yep. I nod curtly and leap to the next one.
Is there a ledge where we can like take a break, like partway through, or are we just climbing all the way to the end?
Right now, it's just climb.
Okay.
So
I'm kind of distracted, wondering what that means as I'm jumping.
Someone should have memorized Tuncer's floating disc.
Can I cast enhance ability on Hefty too?
Sure.
Bull strength. So yeah, he can now carry me without an issue.
Okay.
since he's got a long ways to go.
All right. So as you continue your climb up, I'm going to need another round of athletics checks.
Okay. Also,
Hey,
the jump only lasts for a minute, just so you know.
So it's probably.
So it was mostly just getting us a head start.
Oh, of course. Yeah.
But
So
the other one lasts for an hour.
by now the jump has gone away.
Yeah. Hey, Ted, real quick. I don't know if there's a DC, but because of that talisman, if I fail, then I get to roll a D4 and add it to the roll.
Sure, I will let you know.
Okay, cool.
I'm gonna use my inspiration because I rolled a 4. My second check was a 13.
Okay.
25.
That's
All
pretty
right.
good.
I got a 19.
25. I got a 19.
Plus 2
Um,
for hefty.
sorry, what was that for Hefty?
17 plus 2.
So all of you are doing quite well. Nebula, you've got your pace back a little bit. You were struggling before, but now whether the things have changed to get to a pattern that you can handle or what, you aren't quite certain, but it's definitely gotten easier for you. Enzo is kind of pushing ahead past Tabitha, who was sailing quite easily before.
I was shaken by that ominous message.
Perhaps it's the fact that Tabitha was startled by this message that kind of appeared out of nowhere.
That's
like
the only
this
reason
one.
Enzo's beating me.
That's
Oh, another one?
only
What does it say?
single word.
Only. Okay.
O-N-O-I.
I keep that one to myself.
Okay. You continue on for a little ways, and you see another single sigil, Tabitha, and it's the number 5.
Only 5. I'll say these messages are getting weird, you guys. Apparently, whatever will happen again is only 5.
The handholds begin to kind of shift and move, and it's almost as if like they kind of move in a pattern, and where all of you are, you have to shift from where you are, because the handholds are, you can see, going from left to right. They're all kind of disappearing. They're continuing up and to the right, but everything left and up is disappearing from where all of you are. So I'm going to need an acrobatics check for you to really shift to where things are moving to.
I'm gonna use my inspiration for this.
Hefty doesn't have to do anything here.
Okay.
I'm gonna use my inspiration.
Can we see the top yet?
Nope.
5.
Dirty 20.
Oh, no.
I am much better
Hey.
at acrobatics than I am at athletics.
I am also going to use my inspiration. And that went the wrong way.
Oh, no.
So that's an 11.
So 11 total.
11 total.
Oh, my gosh.
All right. So Enzo and Tabitha, you do not manage to get to your handholds. Are you activating your belts?
Yes.
Yes.
So they give you just a basically like a super powered jump, just like a push, and it springs you almost like a mental command exactly to where you want to go. But you hear the as soon as you kind of make connection with a handhold with the wall, the steam gives out, and that the belts are done.
Sure. As I get to safety with that, I'll say, "Power sure makes me say." I'll wink in case any cameras looking at me, and then leap away to another handhold.
So as you climb just a little bit more, Tabitha, there is
Another one.
Another, whether it's a sigil, a word. This one is definitely in like more spelled out in the handholds, and it's not any kind of glyph or language that you are used to reading. So it really doesn't stand out to anyone else. But through the power of whatever pact you have made, you know that is a symbol for query.
Query. I don't know what this means. I don't know. I'll just hold on to that info until we're not leaping from handhold to handhold and wonder what it means.
So the climb continues for a little ways, and you managed that after the shift, your flow keeps at the same pace that you were, and you get to a plateau, a moment to actually catch your breath, recenter yourself, do whatever it is that you need to do, and the wind begins to pick up.
How big is
This
the
is just like
plateau?
I'm sorry.
So you basically have it was a massive pillar, that was at the bottom, so once you've climbed up and you've got a good solid, 5 foot distance between the edge and, the smaller pillar that you're, expected to continue climbing.
Oh, so it's like a big wide pillar and then it goes in and there is.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
But now that you are up and it is a long way down, arms are slightly fatigued through the climb. Let's see how fatigued they are. I want everybody to make a Constitution saving throw. Hefty's fine. He's got the bull strength still.
I am pasted to that inner pillar.
Sure.
Ooh, that's pretty good. 14.
All right.
19.
6.
So, Nebula, you are fatigued. You realize that you've got to do something if you're gonna continue. Your arms, if you've ever done physical activity and your arms feel just like jelly, what have you. That's kind of where you feel at the moment. Do you have anything that you might be able to do to kind of shake yourself out of it or psych yourself up?
Do I see that she like
multiple
visibly,
dimension doors back to back?
is she like visibly, fatigued? Like
She's definitely breathing heavy. You can see that when you crested the plateau, I imagine there was just kind of a moment where she pulls herself up and just kind of like slumps and sits there. She's not resting. You guys aren't being penalized time or points.
I'll go over to Nebula and kneel and crouch down by her. And I'll say, this is really hard climb.
No kidding.
I got a bad feeling. I'm seeing these weird messages and I don't know what they mean.
I just keep picturing pastries just out of my reach. That's what keeps me going.
I have been reduced to a noodle, and I don't think that there's really anything I can do about that.
I'm going to take off my talisman, which is a miniature version of my sword, and give that to Nebula and say, I don't know. This is really important to me. Don't drop this.
Okay.
It might help you. It's got a little bit of the power that whatever power it is that keeps me going.
Can we see the top from here?
You go ahead and make a perception check. We'll go with that.
All right.
So I am like very clearly
19.
super touched by Tabitha's gesture.
I got a bad feeling. I don't know what these mean. It said it will happen again. Only 5. Query. Sounds like some kind of memory test. I'm
Query is in like
I'm
a
blank
question
slate.
mark?
It was like a symbol that meant meaning query. Did it look anything like that AI's code? Was the script, the font, if you will, when I was reading that? Or no, because I couldn't read that at all. That was just Never mind.
All right, so go ahead and make a wisdom saving throw for me, Nebula. See if the gesture from Tabitha can affect you.
Hey.
I got a 19 on that perception.
I heard all the time.
Yeah, that's gonna be a 19.
All right, so
Power of friendship.
Yes.
the power of friendship can prevail. So you are touched and you are invigorated, and you manage to just kind of do that. I'm gonna shake out my arms and I'm gonna press on. Enzo, when you
Give me my necklace back. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
you look, and you even kind of do this to kind of block the wind that's beginning to pick up, almost like you can hear the wind howl, or maybe it's something on the wind. You're not quite sure, but you think you might see, about 60 feet up, there seems to be an edge.
Hey, Nebula,
Yeah.
you can do your thing, and I point out the spot, the ledge. You don't have to climb. You can just wait for us up there.
I can take one of you with me if I do.
Oh, and then we can lower a rope.
That's probably a good idea. Who has rope?
We all have rope, I'm sure.
Why would I have rope?
Because I have rope.
Okay. Well,
What you
in
see
that
is what
case-
you get.
I have
Disagree.
climbing gear, actually.
I did my long rest not confirm from before. Okay, here we go.
So, as you discuss this, the wind howls, and a creature flying on the wind literally lets out a wail as it flies through the air. I need all of you to make a Constitution saving throw.
We dilly-dallied.
Oh,
good.
gosh.
Oh, come on, baby.
16.
That's a 12.
4.
Hefty did better than me by a lot. Hefty got a dirty 20 and I
Okay.
got a 7.
You had a 7.
I got a 7.
So it's a good thing, as the 5 of you on the ledge, and Nebula, you watch as this spectral creature, quite horrifying, flies directly past all of you. And as it lets out this wail, you watch as Enzo, Tabitha, and Burke slump unconscious.
Wait. I might do something for that.
All of you are at 0 hit points.
Okay.
What? Oh my gosh. That's crazy.
I don't know what to do.
Well, you can start by rolling initiative.
Okay.
Oh
That's a good start.
no. Okay.
I got a 5, Ted.
Oh, that's weird.
7.
Hey, was that an... Oh, no, it wasn't targeting me directly. Damn.
So I heard a 7, I heard a 5,
8.
got an 8. Who was the 7? Who was the 5?
I got a 5.
I got a
7.
7.
What did you get, Nebula?
Also 7.
Wait,
Well, you can roll
you're
that
not rolling
D4.
initiative because we're unconscious, right?
Oh, that was the initial.
Well, you still need to roll because
Oh,
that saves
sorry.
all of that stuff.
Yeah.
I got a 10 for Hefty.
Okay, 10 for Hefty.
Yeah, mine would be the same. We both have a +2 to initiative.
All right, so Hefty and Burke are at a 10.
Yeah.
Okay, so and I did forget that it did affect those who passed. You're going to take 5 points of psychic damage.
Okay.
So Hefty and Nebula take 5.
Oh
And
no.
Burke and Hefty, you are up.
Okay. So D&D Beyond did a weird thing where it like tried to tell me I still had 3 hit points. I think that was from the temporary hit points. Is that so or no?
This effect reduces you to 0 hit points. So you're going to lose all of your hit points, all of your temporary.
Okay. So so I'm trying to think of what I can do. I can't do anything. So I guess Hefty's gonna try to just catch me, except now he doesn't have full strength because that's concentration for an hour.
So you are on the ledge, so you're not falling.
Okay. So we're like on a flat
This
place.
is on the plateau, yes.
I feel like Hefty's smart enough to know that the good berries help me. So would it be feasible for him to somehow get somebody to feed them to me? Because he doesn't have hands. He can't do it himself.
You just take the pouch off with his teeth and like dump them in your face.
I don't know what all he can do. I don't know how like technically smart he is. He has a -1 intelligence. So he's like pretty smart actually.
That is pretty smart, but I mean he's got claws like this that are designed for digging into the ground. If he's gonna dig into stone and climb, he's not gonna be able to do it.
Does he have fine motor skills?
He doesn't have fine motor skills. So I mean, I would say that he could pull a satchel off, but I mean, if you're talking like they're in just like a belt pouch, that's going to be too hard.
Yeah, they're in like a belt pouch is where I usually keep them. So okay, he'll probably just guard me then while I lay there uselessly.
Sure. All right, so death save.
Death save. Right. Sorry.
I got an 18. I think I had the highest initiative. At an 8.
10? I don't think that makes
really.
Burke and Hefty are at a 10.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Oh man, you had low too, Dave.
I did.
It's okay. No one rolled higher than a 10.
Oh boy.
I got 10 for my death save. Is that a failure or a success?
That's pass.
Okay,
That's 5e, man.
So you have an 18 on your save, Enzo?
Yes.
All right, that's a success for you. Nebula.
Okay. So I have one singular 5th level spell slot, which I am going to use on Mass Cure Wounds to pick everybody up.
Ooh.
20 hit points.
Whoa, thank you.
So that is 20 hit points to the entire party.
Yes. Yeah, that's my turn. I don't that's Nebula doesn't know what to do. She was the only one standing there. She was kind of freaking out a little bit. Like she just picks everybody up and doesn't have the wherewithal to do anything else.
Anything with your bonus action?
I don't know what I'd use it for.
You're a bard. You're a bard.
Oh, right. And so I believe you haven't gone yet.
I have that.
Tabitha is next on the order.
Oh, Tabitha is next in the initiative order. Take inspiration.
Okay.
That's
Tabitha,
right.
you're up.
Oh, so as I come to, as Nebula's giving me inspiration, I'm like, mother. And do I see this thing?
Warlock, do the thing.
Yes, I mean it's hovering about 20 feet off the edge. I'm
gonna curse it and cast hex at it.
Okay.
And I will hex its, we'll say wisdom.
Sure.
And then I will use the power of my man's mighty munitions ring, I believe it was from them. And my sword will fly towards it as I cast booming blade at it.
Cool.
And let's see, I got inspiration from Nebula. So it's what, D8?
Yes.
Let's see. What's my 16.
16 hits.
Oh, cool. I've never cast Booming Blade before, so let's see. Let's do. I'm gonna do 2d6. So this sword is gonna do 5 plus. Oh, it only takes the damage if it's moved. 5, and it's sheathed in booming energy. Oh, and the hex is what, d6? Yeah. 2 necrotic. And if it moves, it'll take thunder
The
damage.
necrotic does not seem to affect.
Okay. Is that what hex does? I don't even think yeah, it's gotta be. So yep. And then if it moves, it'll take another d8 thunder damage.
Okay. So it presses in. So go ahead and roll your thunder damage.
Yeah, right. 7.
All right. So the incorporeal creature does not seem to take as much damage from your boom as you were hoping.
Okay.
But it steps in to get in close to some of you. And where is my die? And it comes in and it slashes out with its claw in at Enzo and at Burke.
Is it like a humanoid specter-ish thing?
It's humanoid-ish. It doesn't.
It's not like a monster. It's actually like it has arms and legs, sort of thing.
It doesn't have legs.
Okay.
It seems.
Ooh, it's like okay, gotcha.
It's spectral in an upper torso with arms and long hair and
like tattered robes, sort of look at the bottom or something.
So it's an 18 towards Enzo and a 14 towards Burke.
That's a miss.
Burke? Hello, Burke?
He's muted.
Sorry, I muted myself because I was coughing.
I'm guessing
no,
14
a 16 is my armor class.
Okay. All right. Burke, you're up.
Okay. So Burke sees this thing slashing and he's like, kill it with fire. And he does produce flame at it.
Sure.
So that is a 7 plus 6, 13?
13 hits.
13 hits. Okay. Okay.
I'll take it.
2d8 fire damage. Oh, I got my Nerdarchy N, which means it's the maximum result, which means it's an 8 plus 3. That's 11 fire damage.
So you throw your fire, and this thing does not seem to be all there. And you watch as like half the flame just kind of trails off and falls to the ground, and only burns this thing just a little bit.
Oh, that's not good. And I will take my staff and I will bonus action cast Shillelagh.
Okay.
So now it's up.
All right.
That's my turn.
Enzo.
I will bonus action second wind. And I will throw some magic darts at it.
Sure.
I'm going to take a penalty. So that's going to be that's not good. By chance is a 9 hit.
A 9 is not going to hit.
I can't believe it.
Hey, it's not a news.
What about a nat 20?
Oh, yeah.
All right, and I'm going to menace it. So it can make a wisdom saving throw.
It is not frightened of you.
Son of a bitch. It may not be frightened of me, but it will take 35 points of damage.
Okay.
Ooh.
And that's all I got.
That's enough.
Nebula.
Okay. So I think that we should get to the top of this thing and go if we can. Just be making some progress away from the big scary thing that dropped the entire party. Because running away is an option. That is a thing that we can do. Are you guys cool with this?
Is there a way for us all to get away, or can we shut it up? Like,
oh, wait a minute. Hold
have
on.
it not
That's a
scream.
good question.
Yeah, we can shut it up.
I
as
didn't
they
think
degrade
about
it.
that. I have silence. I have
Yes!
silence. Unfortunately, that is an area of effect, and it can very easily fly out of it.
Yeah, but we won't hear it. So I don't know if that affects it or not.
Yeah. I'll put the silence around us. That's very smart. Except if I do that, then we won't be able to cast spells.
I've got arrows.
I'm gonna be pretty much useless if I do this, but okay, yeah, I'll cast silence around us, and then I'll is the ledge big enough that I can move out of it if I have to?
If you center it on you, like you can't move out of it. But if you center it on yourself,
No, it's an area. It's
Yeah,
not.
it's an area of effect. I used to all the time on Kenna like cast silence.
It doesn't
on the lock
move
and
with
then
the
move out of
person.
it and cast
It doesn't-
knock.
It's
Okay.
a zone.
So you would have to go like completely around the other side of the pillar to get out of it. Because like you're on a circular ledge that's 5
Right.
foot across, so you would have to
Okay.
go around the smaller side of the pillar to get out of it.
Would I be able to lean around and like see people for healing purposes if I did that?
I mean, you could go like you could move in a direction that to try and see some of them, but if they're close to the point of origin, like you're gonna round a corner and not be able to see them.
I don't know why I'm even like doing this, because it's more important that we don't end up all falling on the ground from a scream again. So yeah, silence around us.
Okay.
And Burke already has a shillelagh up, so it's not like it's going to interfere with it.
Mhm.
All right. So for whatever reason, it does not like the fact that Burke has brought forth this magical staff. We have a 19 and 18 to hit you, sir.
Those hit me.
It's going to be 27 points of necrotic damage.
Oh, I'm down again.
Did it hit it with its claw?
Yes, came
Its
in
claw.
two,
Okay, it does. It
two
does.
two hands that just kind of pass through his body, and you just
Okay.
watch Burke slip.
Oh,
Then we are back to Burke.
well, Burke is down. However, Hefty is going to respond by attacking the thing.
Sure.
So, because he's mad at this thing. So, let's see what he does. Oh, that's a natural 8. That's not great. 8 plus 2, 10 plus proficiency bonus. My proficiency bonus is 3. So that's 8 plus 5, 13.
Hits.
Okay. Sorry, I'm getting used to this beast of the land thing from Tasha's still. Where's my, he does a D8 plus 2. So that is another Nerdarchy N plus 2, 10 plus proficiency bonus damage. Okay. So that's 13 damage total. It is slashing damage.
Magic too, right?
I think he's just raking it with his claws. And if he charges, so if he had to move 20 feet, he can do the charge.
He was standing next to you.
Okay, so never mind. He didn't have to do that then. So yeah, that is all he can do, I'm pretty sure, because that's his action.
Yep. And you get to make a death save.
Death save. Oh dear. Here we go.
Just roll 20.
17.
17. That's pass.
Hey.
And then
Got a
we're up to
success.
Enzo.
All right. Let's see. Taking a penalty, throwing some magic daggers.
Sure.
Well, I don't think 11's gonna hit.
11 misses.
That's all right. You get another shot. That was not. That was worse. Arguably worse. All right. Okay. That is my turn. Oh, you know what? A bonus action. I have another. That is going to be a 30-20.
That will hit.
All right, and that's going to be 8 plus another 5, so 13 points of magic-y damage.
You do magic
Right.
damage?
Oh, you know what? Let's see. I can also blow another maneuver and do some more damage. Well, I will try distracting strike. And the next person to attack will have advantage.
Okay.
And he will take another 8 points of damage.
All right. So as your dart, which is a cooking knife, sails through the air, you wind up, shredding the last bit of whatever clothing seemed to be attached to this thing, and you hear the wind begin to settle down. You see whatever spectralness of this creature just begin to dissipate as the creature is no more.
Woo! Hey, good job, Enzo.
So, if Nebula, if you have enough spell slots, right? You could because we just got to get to the top. You could dimension door one of us up there, and then feather fall down, and then dimension door again.
I like to imagine that whole interaction right there was Enzo going like,
yeah.
And the one person who could understand it is unconscious right now.
yeah.
So I will.
Yes, I will cast Spare the Dying on Burke. But
Are you gonna
when I realize I'm being spoken to, undo my silence.
Okay.
Or you could just feed him one of his berries instead of casting Spare the Dying.
Spare the Dying.
I can dimension door 3 times, but no, yeah, I guess I could just feather fall down. I do have the spell slots for that, but after that, I'm gonna be real low. Like I will have no 4th level spell slots left. I will be super low on 1st level spell slots.
But I think our understanding of the climb is we just have to get to the top, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, is that cheaty enough that it's gonna cost us points?
Not if it's showy.
Yeah, you can do ballerina stuff on your way down with your feather falls.
Somebody give me a misdirection. Somebody do something really distracting, and then I'll take one of you away, and it'll just make it a magic trick.
So, what I would suggest here, and this is probably within what you guys would think of, totally do our performance check. Maybe toss a prestidigitation or something, in there. I don't know if Burke happens to have Druidcraft or any of those kinds of things, but anything like that to be super showy would be very, very beneficial.
So yeah, no, absolutely gonna do that. Gonna Rain of Sparkles. I'm gonna misdirection before dimension dooring people up there. I don't want people looking at me as I am pulling them up the hill, right? I want them looking at whatever the other thing is and then realizing, oh God, where did they go?
All right. So
what's the prestige?
You can either do sleight of hand or perform with dexterity.
Oh, that is not the screen that I have my character sheet on.
Remember, you still got that talisman too. It does that for ability checks also. If you fail,
I'll perform.
Okay.
That's one of my expertise skills.
I expected that's the choice that you would make, but
that's going to be the young 21.
Okay.
Well, while Tabitha was casting Spare the Dying, I feed Burke a couple of his berries.
Okay.
Hey.
So Burke, you're at 2, and minus 2 berries.
I am cool with this.
I'll give you my lime licorice pastry. Was it a pastry?
Yeah.
Or a candy, or like whatever. it was,
Licorice root.
Oh, I'll get.
Ooh,
I'll get.
thank you.
I didn't need it.
I will take that too.
Was it? It's just flat 3.
Yeah, just a flat 3, temporary.
What is it, like your proficiency bonus or something?
Yep.
Mm.
You go
They-
through, this distracting process as, people begin to pop up into the top. I don't know if you're taking everybody that way or if Hefty is, climbing the last 60 feet. But to either
Oh,
direction,
I can't take Hefty. Hefty has to climb.
I
I don't have
can
enough spell
teleport
slots
Hefty.
to get him too.
Oh yeah, that's right. You can teleport him.
I can teleport Hefty
Oh yeah, that's
with
good.
his little like Pokeball watch thing. I don't know. I imagine it's kind of like the Pokeball Go or whatever.
so while it does not appear from, where you were on the platform with this small little ledge to stand on, when you get to the top of this pillar is wider than the entire pillar was at the
Ooh.
base. So it's
That would have been hard.
incredibly massive. You didn't get the sensation that it did this, but
Oh.
somehow when you get to the top,
Oh,
it's large, and you
I
do
thought we were gonna do it the like, Mission Impossible style, like climbing up.
but you do see, the ruined archway in the
Huh.
middle of the top of this pillar.
Is there any other of those strange messages around, or those runes from the?
Mhm.
We'll check
tinkering?
the
Yeah, we
arch
checked
before
the
we.
runes this time.
Everything seems normal. There are no additional messages to that nothing seems to pop your attention or grab your attention.
Oh, we need to get going then because I need a nap and a medic and a good snack cake.
So what he's saying is the licorice root was not good. So I'm hearing.
I'm saying that when you're dying, licorice is not the taste you want in your mouth.
So do we step through?
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Stumbling through, but yes.
The 5 of you cross the threshold, and just like last time, you find yourself yet again in this endless room of golden light lines everywhere. And yet again, you do see this black-robed figure about 30 feet away with the 2 eyes that, shine like lights.
I nod knowingly in its direction, saying, "Maybe we only get 5 questions this time."
And it nods its head.
You could hear me?
Oh,
I whisper really
interesting.
low. Can you hear what I'm saying?
And that was one of your questions.
That
Or
one-
now.
I say that one didn't count.
I don't know. It would have been easier to think about this if we weren't dying at the time.
We're
Right?
not dying.
Oh, I'm bleeding profusely. It's a little different.
They're just spiritual wounds.
From your bleeding from your soul.
Just let it go, Berg. Just let it
It's
go.
only as if it tried to wither your life away. There's no blood. It's
Yeah.
just the part that makes your body work, like blood and water, has just been drained from your body.
I'll actually
Oh my.
I'll explain that to Burke in like what I think is a helpful way, but it sounds really creepy. Like it's not to permanently damage you. It only was reaching from beyond the grave to put a stain on your soul. But
Twice.
it'll fade in time. It might leave a little, memory, but you'll be fine physically.
And don't forget Tabitha, twice.
Oh yeah. The first one that was just that was just dying of fright.
So
I think
this
you got a little
thing,
white in your hair, actually, maybe.
this thing told us that It was a competitor. Yeah, like that is something that we have confirmed from this entity.
I
Uh-huh.
believe, yes,
Right.
that was
So-
solid.
I want to ask if it's a competitor from this season.
So 1 second, you guys discuss
Ooh.
amongst yourselves, and when you are prepared to ask a question, let
Okay.
me know.
Okay. Because I have a hypothesis, right?
Mhm.
That maybe somebody that was competing on a season before this one got stuck in the computer, and that's what's causing all of this. Because clearly it wasn't somebody that snuck out.
People
Oh,
can get stuck in a
interesting.
computer.
Unless they had an ability to bypass all of our measures.
I mean, yeah, I suppose that's possible, but like this is from Nebula's perspective, and I don't think that she would consider that that was a conceivable thing that could happen. Like you are dealing with the Queen of Arrogance.
I mean, you can kind of teleport great distances, and you're able to silence, so maybe you can go invisible as well. They can go invisible as well.
Wait,
Well,
wait,
that's
wait,
a
wait.
good
You think
point.
somebody died in the competition and got trapped in here? I pointed out?
Exactly. I mean, you would think that we would have heard about that if that had happened, but that's definitely something they would want to keep quiet, and this is an errand of vengeance. I would be really upset if something like that happened to me.
Aren't we like out of displaced from time right now?
Yes.
Yes.
But
If somebody died in here, like in the space we're in, would their body still be here?
well, I don't think Nebula means here. I think
Yeah.
Nebula just means in the game, and it got trapped and digitized or something.
There's
But
a
yeah,
lot of ways.
I think that's a good question. Go ahead and ask Nebula.
So the person who did this, was it a competitor from this season?
Yes.
You know, there's also 2 teams that are returning teams. So
Oh yeah, I
So-
should have asked if it was from a different season.
That's
Well-
okay.
we can ask that now.
Yeah. I can't think of a better question.
So what is the question?
Was the person who did this a competitor from another season?
Rephrase.
Was the perpetrator participate in an earlier season? Would that make sense? I'm not saying that I'm asking these guys.
That's probably a better way to say it. Did they compete in a different season?
In a previous season.
Yeah. That
What
could
are
be-
we, 2 questions in so far?
Yes.
Yeah, that'll be the second question.
But it wants us to rephrase it. Yeah.
What is your rephrasing?
Has the perpetrator competed in more than one season?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
So that means which 2 teams was it? Was it Flumps and Black Razors?
Displacer
Yeah,
Beast.
Displacer Beast, yeah.
Displacer Beast and Flumps. Okay.
So if they know that the person competed before, they have more intel than they're letting on to us.
I
Well-
kind of say to myself, I don't.
Speaking as a
even-
player.
I say to myself, have I competed in this competition before? Under my breath.
Oh
But,
no.
Tabitha did it. Tabitha all. Okay, so that's 2
What
questions.
if it's that Az guy? He seemed to have some problem with me.
Yeah,
I
it
mean,
might
we
have just
could
been
also-
drama for the show.
Maybe.
Which team
We
was
could
that
also
person
pull
on?
the guess who questions and just be like, what gender is the person? What are they wearing? You know?
Well,
Do they have a
before-
mustache?
So before they weren't going to tell us like the specific person, or they didn't know the specific person. But now we've kind of narrowed it down to a team.
Well, you guys previously had been asking specific questions, and whether it was unable or unwilling, you weren't able to figure that part out. It was not providing the specifics. But as you guys have moved into more generalities that could allow you to alluding to get you the information, you've been able to get clearer answers.
So it's prevented from telling us, but it has the information.
So should we ask if someone snuck out last night, if they know if someone snuck out last night? Or if well, maybe not someone, but specifically if the perpetrator snuck out last night for more mischief.
Maybe we could also ask if they're getting help from the outside.
I think we already asked about the outside, and that was eliminated.
We asked if the perpetrator was from the outside. We didn't ask if the perpetrator was getting help from the outside.
Well,
I think that's a
Because
good question.
ask that question.
As a player, not as Burke, I don't know how much table talk is allowed. Ted, how much table talk is allowed?
You can
We
discuss,
can
as
discuss
much
what
as
we
you
wanted,
in
and
or
then-
out of game.
Okay, as a player, here's my thought is just because somebody's the perpetrator, that doesn't mean they're the guilty party. Does that make sense? Like, it is possible that someone could be being forced to do this by someone from the outside, so that in theory, they are the perpetrator, but not the only guilty party. Does that make sense?
What if this is somebody's like dead man plan?
Like a kill switch?
Yeah. I don't, yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's a good question though. Like, all right, so I'm not actually asking this. This is just me suggesting this is a thing to ask. But we could ask, is the person doing this doing it on their own behalf, or we could ask, is the person doing this trying to get revenge for someone else?
Mm-hmm.
Well, do we want to start with, are they getting assistance from the outside?
Yeah, I think that's
How
a
many
good place to
questions do we
start.
have left?
3.
Okay, then yes, yeah, do that.
Okay, so is the perpetrator getting help from the outside?
Rephrase.
Someone outside the show.
Is the perpetrator getting help from someone who is not directly part of the competition?
No.
Okay.
You know, that would still leave it open for a
sponsor
to assist.
But at least we know it's narrowed to people that like we've already learned about, which is like actually really good. Looking at you, Murder She Wrote.
Well, do we want to ask if if a sponsor is assisting them?
We could.
But we have to phrase it in a way that obviously sponsors are assisting them. We have to phrase it in a way where specifically the sponsors assisting them to do these nefarious deeds that aren't part of the game.
We could say, does one or more of the does one of the sponsors know of the perpetrator's actions? That could be a way to do it.
Is that the question?
I don't know. What do you guys think?
Go for it.
Yeah.
Okay. Does one of the sponsors know about the perpetrator's actions?
No.
Okay.
And you begin to see the cloak of this thing is with this question, you can see that it becomes intangible.
So if they're not getting assisted by sponsor,
that does actually help us because it means that Nebula's interview with Craig was truthful, or at least more truthful than what she initially suspected.
Unless he programmed this thing.
That's true. But couldn't you look at the code or some nonsense to see about that?
It was too complicated. I think we tried that.
Hmm.
Is one of the controllers assisting the perpetrator?
Ooh.
Yes.
Oh.
And the scene vanishes. Find yourself.
We missed out on a question.
No, you didn't. That was 5.
No, that's fine.
Oh, that was 5. Okay, we're good. I bet it was Bill. One of the many Bills.
Fucking
not a
Bill and Bob.
controller.
He was doing like a Prince and the Pauper thing. It's like he's like an undercover boss.
Y'all.
And you
Bill.
find yourselves outside, the ruined archway there before the host. As yet again, he greets you and asks, and the medics arrive, or the clockers, I should say, to help assist all of you who have been withered by the spectral banshee that sucked the very life force out of all of you, or most of you.
I'm good. I'm back up to half.
I'm fine.
I
waved them away.
Good.
I'm more troubled by other things.
Nebula helped tremendously with that silence spell. Oh dear.
So before too long, your interview questions are over, and you're on your way back down to the locker room to do with as you will.
Can I use my aside moment?
Absolutely.
So as we were exiting from our interview, it was so strange, but it seemed that Enzo noticed something that would be key to our investigation.
So are you trying to talk to them, or are you trying to talk to...
I guess I thought this was like an after scenario where it's like after everything happened.
Yeah.
Like we've already done everything at this point, so we're
So the idea with the aside was to kind of like share with the home audience, where the home audience has no idea about the investigation.
Oh, I see. So we don't want them to know about
Yeah.
that.
Right. We can't talk about this. We're under NDA.
Okay, well, in that case, I'm just going to pull some other nonsense. And that was when Serafina showed up to heckle Nebula.
Oh, no. Why would you do this to me?
I'm sorry, Robin.
No, it's okay.
I can't get enough of that good idol drama, don't you know?
Oh, I do. I do know. I know quite well.
So with the dazzling performance that you did, the sponsor call out and the use of your little lift packs, you have been given a score of 93 for that particular round.
Ooh. That's pretty good.
So we get
Hmm.
367.
Ooh.
We were the first ones to go this time too, right?
Yep.
At this point in time, you will have seen the setup. The Gibbering Mouthers are second, Black Razor's Revenge is third, Displacer Beasts fourth, Flumps are fifth, and Shining Unicorn is number 6.
So we had established 2 other teams had not had anything
Well,
happen to them yet, correct?
Yeah, I think the Flumps.
and the Gibbering Mouthers.
Yeah.
And the Flumps is the returning team. The
The
Gibbering
Flumps-
Mouthers is not.
Gibbering Mouthers is not a returning team, and they have since round one, been in last place and remained in last place.
They're really good at losing.
Maybe they're just displaced. They're just tricking you with the image, like their namesake. You think they're losing, but they're over here winning.
No, it's the Gibbering Mouthers have been losing, right?
Oh yeah, not the
Yes.
beast. They're just crazy.
Yeah, they're just babbling off in the corner. Yeah, and also the Flumps is the only team that we don't actually know anything about them. We don't know, like, we know their
They're so standoffish.
we know their species, but that's it. We know they're an Earth Genasi, a Tabaxi, a dwarf, and a half elf. But we don't know what the professions are.
Well,
You know, Racken's a shady fighter. He's got
Well,
toes.
yeah, but that we just learned
Right.
Rack and Axebelly might be a rogue.
that would be a confident guess of him being a fighter rogue.
Is there a way to figure out who's sponsored by who?
I thought I had given that to you.
Maybe you have. But I don't know.
Yeah, I have lots of the scribblings of mad man here.
Do we know who's if anyone is sponsoring the Flumps?
I will look and see what I have in my notes.
I think the Great Eye is sponsoring Team Displacer Base, maybe?
Oh, that's right.
And
We
there's
have
big-
cultists.
Oh no. What if the obvious answer is the answer, and at the end, Ted is just like, how did you guys not get this?
No, I think it's going to be the Fat Goblin.
Big Billy.
Yeah, I think Big Billy is going to be the one that's in on it. He seems shady, and he serves crappy food.
Well, Tabitha is very self-centered, so she thinks it's
I will-
she's connected to it.
I will dig through the notes in between sessions and get you the sponsor stuff in between sessions.
What if the dungeon master did it?
Probably, I mean, it doesn't get much more obvious than that.
So a lot of the teams are out of the locker room when you return, except for the Flumps and Shining Unicorn are kind of gearing up, and they're clearly have their game faces on. Before too long, the Gibbering Mouthers return. They went into the gauntlet. Did not fare so well against an Etten, and scored
That's what?
against an Etten.
Oh, okay.
They
Who did we fight?
Golem.
Oh, that Stone Golem, yeah.
you fought an ancient construct.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
But they scored 82 points, bringing them up to a total of 334. A solid 33 points behind what you guys have.
You know, it's actually a personal best for them.
Is it?
Yeah.
Last
No,
round
they got
83.
Yeah, they had 83.
Oh yeah. Well, the first time they had 81.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What do you expect from Gibbering Mouthers?
So it was a middle performance for them.
Yeah, they tend to stay in the low 80s for their point ranges. Black Razor's Revenge had some serious problems with the gauntlet, and some of them took some serious beating from a Grillon. Can't
That
say-
boulder's a real mother effort too.
Indeed, it can be a problem. So they only got 74 points,
Oh,
bringing them into tie for last place with the Gibbering Mouthers of 334.
turn to Nebula. Maybe they should have spent more time working on their training and tactics and less time on their looking pretty with their uniforms.
Be nice. Being nice looks good on us.
that was me being nice.
The displacer beasts, go in, and they too went against or went up the climb, and upon their plateau wound up fighting a Yethhound.
Ooh, those are
They
cool.
they scored just a bit higher than you guys at 94 points, but that only brings them up to 350 total. Still a good solid 17 below what you guys have.
Figures they got an easy monster.
Well,
If I see the as in the hallway, I'll say, better luck next time.
Wow.
Yeah, give it to him.
Tabitha's a sore winner.
Hey, that guy that's poop talking me.
That's
I don't
true.
know
That's
him.
true.
the
That is
Flumps
true.
wind up going into the gauntlet, facing an Iron Cobra. And they put on a pretty decent performance, scoring 89 points, bringing their total up to 371, a mere 4 points above you guys.
Oh.
So there
And
haven't been any.
Team Shining Unicorn goes in the climb, and their fight on the plateau was against a Winged Lion, and they scored 91 points, bringing them at 358. So we have Flumps in at first, Sensational Chimera at second, Shining Unicorn at third, Displacer Beasts at fourth, and a tie at fifth and sixth place for Gibbering Mouthers and Black Razor's Revenge. You'll all settle into your evening and then subsequent day off.
There haven't been any, or at least reported anomalies that we know of since like round 2. I don't think there was any in round 3
Nothing is
that we know of.
nothing that you are completely been aware of, but there's also not been a lot of talk time in specifics and oddities.
I mean, I don't know what you're talking about, Tabitha. Look at the easy monsters they got. If that's not an anomaly, I don't know what is. We got a friggin' a death spirit.
Thing was nothing.
It almost killed most of us.
Almost.
If it wasn't for Nebula's quick thinking and fast spells casting, we'd have been
I was
done
just about
for.
to get up and slay the thing.
I had a thought.
Go on.
First off, we should probably set up Freddie or David again outside the thing, but maybe with our day off, we should split up, gang, and two of us go talk to the Displacer Beast and two of us go talk to the Flumps and get to know our teammates a little better.
You mean our competitors?
Yeah, that.
Let's keep it in perspective here, Berg. Still want to win.
I'm sorry. I'm still focused on Nebula's rousing speech where she said we all need to work together.
And in this we do.
Which, of course, we immediately went back on what we discussed in that speech about sharing information and working together.
Look, I feel like the information that we were given by that AI is going to be extremely divisive, and I'm still not entirely sure that it's good information. Like,
what if the AI is talking to all of us? I go back to my.
That's part of its trick to just.
I go back to my
everybody to be
corkboard with the string.
I have
and you can tell, Enzo, that you have just blown her mind completely, and she's just sitting there staring at the wall, like right in the corner. Just
at this point, my string board looks like it looks like a gaggle of drunk spiders got together.
So I'm gonna totally break the fourth wall here, and I'm gonna make a statement to all of the viewers out there. The statement that Dave just made is why I love exceptional players. Making comments that can just totally blow another player's mind. It's fabulous, and it is so helpful to DMs to be able to say, look, here is some useful information that someone might not have been thinking. It's just a great tool for DMs and players alike. So please do this kind of stuff, whether you're a DM, whether you're a player. Put that stuff out there. It's fabulous.
Dave just blew me out of the water. I'm not gonna lie. I was like, oh no.
So who do we trust?
Each other.
Okay, other than us though, like who do we trust out of the other teams?
I haven't even ruled myself out. You might as well put me up on that.
No, I mean, who do
don't
we
worry,
trust to
Tabitha,
ask
I got
if
you
their
covered.
team has been approached?
I nod to Enzo like, good.
Who do we trust to keep our secrets?
I don't trust any of them.
What about Tristan? He seems very trustworthy.
Are you
Resi,
just
I mean,
saying
you
that because he
can't
writes your
write a
comic?
hero. Huh?
Are you just saying that because he writes your comic?
No, you can't write a hero that good without being a good person. Like he clearly understands what it means to be good and to uphold the law.
Celie, as an author that is not a very good person, I cannot disagree with you more. But
I don't want
Well,
to.
he sold his soul to an archdevil to get the power.
I don't want to disillusion you, Burke, but doesn't he also write the villains?
Oh, but the villains, like you have to know what isn't right to write it, and the way you know what isn't right is by knowing what is right. So anything else is
doesn't
wrong.
that work the other way as well?
I haven't ruled out
I
that
don't
he's a
know. I
fiendish
never thought
warlock
of it
yet.
like that.
And also, how do we know he won't
Not
put it?
very much.
He won't put all of our secrets in his comic.
I would love to be put in his comic.
Just make sure you get a licensing agreement for your likeness first.
I need a license for him to put me in my comic or in his comic.
If you want to get
Yeah.
paid,
Your physical, who you are is the most precious thing you own, Berg.
Oh,
You make lots of money off it.
it's going to become the brand for your farm.
it is? I thought Hefty was the brand. He
Well-
really has a better face.
You know, it's the combination. It's the two of you together. I think between the two of you, you're going to save the farm.
That's
If-
right. We are going to save the farm, aren't we, Hefty?
If we don't
He's
get
the-
screwed out of winning this game by these cheaters. What did the Flones? They did the gauntlet and fought an Iron Cobra.
Yeah.
The only way that we can find out if somebody else has been approached by this AI is to ask someone. So, who do we trust enough not to repeat it if we ask them?
Wait,
Resi, would never lie.
maybe we don't need to trust the person. Maybe we want to ask someone who's very untrustworthy, but would love to brag about having a connection that someone else doesn't have.
You mean like
Which
a
would
social
mean
experiment?
Nebula could talk to Serafina and see if she's been approached. Just think, if somebody's talking specifically to Serafina and her team about what's going on, don't you think she would just love to rub it in your face?
I hate how much sense that makes.
I think what you hate more is that Burke wants you to have to talk to Serafina.
I mean, yeah.
And then you could take Tabitha with you, and Tabitha could go talk to Raziel.
Well, how do you suggest that I get this information out of her without revealing that we have also been approached by this entity?
You could say you heard someone else was.
I could. What do you want to do? What do you want to do?
Oh yeah, what if you told her you overheard one of the other players talking?
I just don't want to have to talk to Serafina. I can already feel the cluster headache. It's like right here.
Can I try to roll persuasion
Steve.
to get her to want to talk to Serafina about this?
I don't think you can roll or persuade a fellow player character.
I'll allow it.
Oh, okay. Well,
Yes. Okay. Oh, well, that's very fitting.
What'd you get?
I got a 2
Oh.
plus 0.
But like, okay, listen. Also, the best thing that can come of this is finding out that Serafina is also talking to my contact, and I really don't want to know that. Like, I would absolutely lose entire respect for this AI if it's also talking to Serafina about this.
Or would it let you into the fact that it's talking to more people than just us? And
I
we
mean,
then have
we could
information.
ask anyone.
But who could we trust to be more honest than someone that we hate?
well, the trick is to figure out, what established relationships you have with the teams that you've already interacted with, how much you enjoy interacting, how much you think you can trust based on that. You've already, established yourselves to the group as, look, something's going on, we should talk about this. And then there hasn't really been a whole lot of talking, beyond just the personal connections that seem to be there. The greater aspects seem like they've been dropped.
What about Warforged? She's really smart, but he also seems kind of naive.
I would not be able to live with myself for taking advantage of that. Like,
Is that Robin talking or Nebula talking? Because I think Nebula would be fine with it.
yeah, Nebula would absolutely be fine with it. I hate this, and okay, all right,
Oh.
fine.
So I'm gonna do a little bit of wonky. I know we're 10 minutes to 10 here, but as you guys begin to chat amongst yourselves and plot and plan as to how you're going to spend the next day, who you want to talk to, we're going to end early and be able to get into next week where all of these conversations go and with who next time.
Ooh.
And we'll be 9th level.
And you do get to level up because that is how we agreed. So lots of more powerful aspects, I think.
Not already.
So I guess then with that, until next time, stay nerdy.
Stay nerdy.
Oh my god, I think I accidentally cheated. I'm sorry.